Hello everyone, how are you doing? I am in a hotel room right now. It is Mercury Retrograde, and true to Mercury Retrograde form, my travel has been disrupted. And I'm in the middle of Mississippi, on my way to San Diego. And in this state, I thought, why not make a video about Mercury Retrograde and what it's all about? Because everyone talks about Mercury Retrograde, and I think that it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way for a lot of people. And then things like this happen. So it's like, sometimes let's just go with it and work with it. So Mercury Retrograde, for those of you who don't know, Mercury is the astrological planet that is in charge of communication and travel. And so a lot of times those things get disrupted when Mercury goes into retrograde. And I thought, why not talk about 5 things to do to maximize your Mercury retrograde? Because it happens several times a year. You're never going to escape it. It's actually a really beautiful time if you work with it. And so here are the 5 things you can do. Number 1 is reflect. This is probably the most important part because you are given this opportunity to slow down simply because if you don't, there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings, miscommunication, lines of communication that are crossed, things that are missed. And so it's a time to slow down. Go slowly when you're speaking. Take your time before you're responding. Reflect. You might want to also reflect in your own life. Like, take this time to reflect in your own life on yourself, so you can think about areas of your life that you maybe have been ignoring, or questions that might come up for you. When you meet a challenge, instead of us getting mad at the challenge or meeting a challenge with resistance, meet it with curiosity. So you reflect, you say, oh wow, what could this possibly mean for me? What are the lessons here? Why is this coming up? Is there a lesson here for me? And don't be afraid to put your guard down and just ask that question. And it's not about blame or shame or any of those. It's just about, is there a lesson here for me? And be open to seeing that. So number 1, reflect. Number 2, renegotiate. This is a great one, and this is one of the gifts of Mercury retrograde. So if there's something in your life or business even that it could potentially be renegotiated, whether that's a lease agreement, you could think about maybe even your car insurance, insurance policies, contracts. See if you can go and renegotiate, maybe get a better deal, a lower price, different terms. This is a great time to renegotiate. Number 3 is renew or refresh. So this is a great one when it comes to environment. Renew or refresh your living environment. So you might want to paint the walls. You might want to rearrange the furniture. You might want to renew or do some car maintenance. Anything renewing and refreshing in your environment, in your space, this is a great time to do that. So that's number 3. Number 4 is reinvention. So this is one that I love. There's no better time to reinvent something. So if you're thinking about in your business or in your career, if you have a business and you have a logo, this would be a great time to reinvent, redesign, maybe rebrand. Then also if you have if there's a job and you want to reinvent yourself, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to go ahead and reinvent yourself, you might want to do that. And then also just you might want to just reinvent your own style, your personal style, get a haircut, maybe change up your look. This is a great time to reinvent yourself. And number 5 is resurrect. And this is one I love. So resurrect something. If there's an old idea, if there's an old project that you shelved, even just old hobbies, old passions that you haven't allowed yourself to explore, now is the time to go ahead and do that. So this is a great time for resurrecting those things that have been dormant for a while, but things that you love, things that you're interested in, things that maybe the timing wasn't right at the time that it was initiated. Now is a great time to go back and revisit and resurrect those old projects, those old hobbies, those old passions, potentially even an old relationship, rekindling an old flame, old friendships, family members that you haven't spoken to in a while. So number 5 is resurrect. And those are my 5 best ways to maximize your Mercury retrograde experience. I hope this video was helpful. If you found it helpful, please share and hit the subscribe button. I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.